morning and welcome to Joliet Junior College. I am Chef Ken Thompson, culinary instructor here at the college. Thank you for joining us for another episode of our cooking demonstrations. Today I'm going to make a farro salad, but before I get started on that, a little bit about our college. We're located in downtown Joliet at the college's City Center campus. JDC offers an associate's degree in culinary arts management, which takes approximately 2 years to complete. We also offer certificates of completion in culinary arts and a couple of certificates of completion for baking and pastry. The campus has 10 professional kitchens located throughout the facility. We're 5 floors. It's a beautiful campus, all brand new shiny equipment. The college also has 2 fully functional, open to the public restaurants. We encourage you to make reservations before coming out to dine with us because there's only so many seats and it's very popular restaurants. We offer small class sizes. The lab classes are limited to 16 students per lab, so the student to instructor ratio is very small, and we get to know the students on a personal basis, which is a really nice feature of our program. Graduates from our programs go on to do many different things. They go to be executive chefs at country clubs or restaurants, hotels, casinos. They go on to be culinary instructors and a wide variety of other options, including things like starting your own business. So we have a wide variety of graduates that are a success. If you'd like more information about the college's culinary arts management program, please contact us at the number located at the bottom of the screen, or our department secretary who will get back to you as quickly as possible. So today I'm going to make a farro salad. So as we're currently in the springtime and most people are looking to eat a little bit healthier during the summertime, I figured that today I would focus on something that would be a little bit healthier for us. So farro is a grain that was traditionally from the Mesopotamia region of Europe, and it is now thought to be usually associated with Italian foods. You see them in soups and stews, and it's a type of grain. It's fairly easy to find. I was at Jewel the other day, so I got a bag from Jewel, but you can also find it on Amazon.com. I also saw it at Myers the other day. I've seen it at Aldi, so it's very easy to find now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some roasted strawberries. So as we're going into springtime, I thought we would do something a little bit different with strawberries. So I took the strawberries, I cut the hull of the strawberry off, and I'm going to take these strawberries, I'm going to put them into a bowl, and I got this beautiful Sicilian olive oil. The Sicilian olive oil has a real fruity, kind of black peppery flavor to it. So I'm going to take this really nice olive oil. I'm going to toss my strawberries on a little bit of this olive oil. And then this olive oil and strawberry mixture, I'm going to put onto a non-stick baking mat. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. And I'm going to take these strawberries and I'm going to roast them for 15 minutes. And as they're roasting, it smells really sweet and kind of starts to develop kind of a caramely flavor to it. So I'm going to put these in the oven. And then while those are roasting, I'm going to talk a little bit about farro. So because farro takes about 30 minutes to cook, and my demo today is scheduled for about 30 minutes, I'm going to, what I did ahead of time is I cooked the farro. So all I did is I took the farro, and it requires rinsing. So I took the farro, put it into a colander, rinsed it for a couple minutes under cold running water. I put it into a pot. I covered it by about 3 to 4 inches with water, and I let it simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes until it gets soft. You want to make sure you don't overcook the farro because what happens is it starts to explode and becomes mushy. And there's nothing wrong necessarily with that. It does make good cereal for the morning. So you can add things like brown sugar to it and some apples or maybe strawberries like we had today. But for today, because I'm looking to have a salad, I want to make sure I keep the integrity of the farro intact. So I should have kind of a nice bite to the farro still. Farro has a flavor of like roasted nuts. And the benefit of eating things like whole grains is that they're high in fiber and high in antioxidants, which is actually really healthy for us. So I thought, as we're moving into spring and summer, it's nice to have a salad that's a little bit healthier for us. So the farro is pre-cooked, and all I did is I strained it off after it's done cooking, and I cooled it down until it's completely cold. So that's where I'm at this stage. The other part of the recipe I'm going to make today is I'm going to make a basic balsamic vinaigrette. So what I have is I have some really nice aged balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add that to my bowl. I have some Dijon mustard, and this is 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I have 1 tablespoon of minced shallots. I have 1 teaspoon of honey, and there's nothing funny about the honey here. All I do is, in order to measure it out so I'm able to quickly put it into a bowl without making too much mess, is I put it into a little plastic baggie, which I'm just going to puncture the bottom of it and then squeeze the honey out of the baggie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the mixture. And I'm going to whisk. What I've done is I've taken my bowl and I've put it over a small pot with a shelf liner, and I have a shelf liner underneath the pot because that provides a really nice stable environment for me to whisk and make my vinaigrette. So I'm going to mix all that together. And here I have the same olive oil that I put with the strawberries. So it's that really nice extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to slowly incorporate my olive oil into the vinegar mixture, whisking the entire time. So if I forgot to mention the quantity of the vinegar and the olive oil, the quantity of the vinegar is 1 ounce and the olive oil is 3 ounces. And that's a basic ratio for vinaigrette. So any type of olive oil you're going to use in the future, or any type of oil, flavored oil, or vinegar, it's always going to be about a 3-to-1 ratio, depending on the flavor profile that you like. If you like it a little more acidic, you're going to add a little bit less oil or a little more vinegar. For today's salad, I've just chosen to stick with a 3-to-1 ratio. You could also add other things to the vinaigrette, but because today I'm adding other things to the salad, I'm going to add some fresh basil in a minute and some strawberries. I've chosen not to add anything else to the vinaigrette, but things like parsley and thyme, some fresh tarragon, it goes really well in the vinaigrette. So now that I have my vinaigrette made, I also have my cooked farro. So what I did is I'm going to use part of this farro for today's demonstration, and then the rest of it I'm going to save to make a vegetable soup for a future demo, or probably for home today for dinner. So I'm going to take some of this farro, approximately 2 cups of farro. I'm going to add that to my bowl. And then I have some finely minced celery that I cut ahead of time. I'm going to add that to the bowl. The celery adds a little bit of a crunch to it, a little bit of color, and the celery has a natural saltiness to it without adding additional salt. So it makes a really nice crunch, additional crunch to the salad as well. I'm also going to add to the salad some roasted walnuts. I purchased walnut halves. I tossed them a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, and I roasted them in an oven at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. What I'm looking for is I would like the nuts to have kind of a more of a nutty, fragrant aroma, which is going to be really nice with the farro, because the farro also has that kind of roasty, nutty flavor to it as well. So I'm going to add approximately 1/2 to 3/4 cup of these roasted walnuts. And then I'm also going to add to the bowl some green onions. So the green onions today, all I've done for the green onions so far is I have washed the green onions. I cut the beard end or the root end off of the green onion. I'm going to cut them very thinly on a bias or at an angle. So I just take my fingers, I'm curling my fingers under, and I'm making a slicing motion by rocking the knife back and forth. So I have really thin slices of scallions. And what my fingers are doing is they're kind of crawling back as I'm slicing the scallions. So I keep my fingers out of the way and safe. For this recipe, for about this quantity of farro, I'm going to use 2 whole scallions. There I have my bias cut, thinly sliced scallions. I'm going to add that to my bowl. And then I have some fresh basil. I'm going to take some of these leaves and I'm going to pull them off of the stem. I'm going to take about 8 or 10 leaves of basil. It kind of depends on how large the basil leaves are. You might need a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the flavor profile you'd like to have at the end. I'm going to take my basil leaves, I'm going to stack them on top of each other. And then for my basil, I'm not looking to cut it too finely. All I'm looking to do is cut it into kind of strips. And I want to have a little bit larger strips because as I'm eating the salad, I'd like to have that little bite of basil. So I have my strips of basil right here. I'm going to add the basil to my bowl. So there's that. Now I'm going to add to that my roasted strawberries. So by magic of TV, I realized that wasn't 15 minutes, but I have pre-roasted some strawberries ahead of time, so I'm going to grab those out of the oven. So here's my roasted strawberries, and this is what they're going to look like when they come out of the oven. They start to lose a little bit of this moisture or some of the liquid out of the strawberries, but they're really delicious and really sweet, and you can still taste the olive oil that's there. So the olive oil has a little bit of fruity, a little bit of black pepper, which is going to be really nice with the farro. So I'm going to take all of these strawberries, and I used approximately 1 pound of strawberries. And the nice thing about using this non-stick baking mat is it's going to be a lot easier to clean, so I can just go and rinse it off and I'm ready to go. So that's one of the nice benefits of using that non-stick baking mat. I'm also going to add to the bowl a little bit of lemon zest. So you think maybe you might automatically think lemon and strawberry, but it makes a nice balance between the really sweet strawberries and a little bit of acidity. So I'm going to take my microplane zester and I'm going to zest about 1 whole lemon into the farro salad. You could also add a little bit of lemon juice if you'd like. Today I'm not going to because I feel that my vinaigrette is tart enough or a little bit too acidic enough for my finished result. So I'm going to take most of this vinaigrette, or maybe all of it. I'm going to pour that over my farro. I'll mix all this together. You have to give it a taste to make sure it tastes good. That's a keeper. So I'm going to add maybe a little more salt. Any of my students would tell you, I think everything needs just a little more salt. So maybe a little salt, a little bit of black pepper. And here's our finished product. We have strawberries in here and a nice bite of basil, and the scallions in there give a little bit of spice to it as well. So I thought about what to do with this besides putting it in a bowl, and I am going to put some in a bowl. So maybe you put this out for your Sunday brunch or for family get-together. So here's some in a bowl just for presentation, maybe serve for some lunch later. So it has a nice crunch and kind of a sweet, sour balance to it. I also thought it might be nice, as its own little serving vessel, to serve as some of the salads in these little cups of butterhead lettuce. So I'm going to put these on a plate. So about 3 leaves of this butterhead lettuce, our Boston bib lettuce, some of the salad into the lettuce. Keep all right in the middle of it. And then when you're ready to eat this, it's easier for the family or whoever you're having over to just grab one of these lettuce wraps and put it in their mouth. It's delicious. It's a nice thing for summer, a little bit of sweet, and definitely healthy. The Farro is very high in fiber and antioxidants, which is really good and healthy for you, and it also tastes good. So when people see it, you can maybe not tell them it's healthy for them, and then after they eat it and try it and they like it, you can say, well, it's actually healthy for you too. So I appreciate your time today, and thank you for joining us for another demo. And please look for future videos from us from Joliet Junior College. If you're interested in more information about the college or the Culinary Arts Management program, please reach out to us. We're happy to schedule for a tour of our school, or to come out for a Chef of the Day program, or join us in the restaurants. We're usually open Monday through Thursday, and sometimes on Friday, depending on our schedule. Please call ahead for reservations, and we look forward to seeing you at the college soon. Have a great day.